Heartbreak can feel like your whole world has shattered. But what if I told you this could also be your greatest moment to reclaim your power and remember who you truly are? Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Dr. Freda's Power Session. I am your favorite certified transformational life and empowerment coach, Dr. Freda, where we talk all things empowerment, love, and becoming the highest version of yourself. So, again, welcome back to another 30-minute power session. And today's episode is one I know so many people have been waiting for. And if you haven't been waiting for it, maybe this is the universe aligning with what you really need, mixed in with something, a little bit of what you want as well. But today we're going to be talking about reclaiming your power after a heartbreak. And no, why do I sound so upbeat? Well, because after this power session, you're going to realize that that heartbreak was meant for you to get to a better place. It was your look at that heartbreak as a growth mechanism for you to get to a higher place. So, heartbreak can look different for everyone, whether it's a breakup, divorce, betrayal, or even the slow drifting away of a relationship you thought would last forever. Everyone experienced some type of heartbreak, but it's not the heartbreak per se that will grow you and define you. Is what you do afterwards. Because no matter how it happens, a heartbreak leaves us questioning our worth, our choices, and even our identity. Especially if you was with this person, this job, this family, whatever it is you are breaking up from or cutting off, it no longer has a space in your life. And sometimes we have our whole identity around a relationship, whether it's platonic or romantic. And let me tell y'all something, okay? I've been through a breakup. I've been divorced. I've been betrayed. I've been rejected. I have been all the above. Okay. So I am pretty well equipped to talk to you about this topic specifically. But what if I told you this heartbreak isn't the end of your story? That's why I sound so pumped up and fired up, because it is not. It is literally a plot twist. It's an opportunity to write a stronger, more beautiful chapter in your life. So, how do we do that? We are going to do that by first honoring our feelings. So, what does that mean when I say honor your feelings? We hear that a lot and we really don't do it, and maybe because people probably don't really understand what that means or how that looks. But after a heartbreak, it is so tempting to either numb out or try to just move on quickly. And so I've heard some of my clients come to me and tell me that, their grandmother or friend or mother told them the best way to get over somebody is to get under another person. And I always listen and I honor everyone's opinions or advice or suggestions. But I want people to realize that when you are going through a breakup, however that is happening, you are shedding layers. And that is a process that you have to go through so you don't create the bag woman or the bag man mentality. Meaning You are carrying trauma, triggers, and baggage from previous relationships that you have not shed and you have not healed from. So what is happening, you are carrying this bags, however many bags it is, and you're bringing it to the next relationship simply because you don't want to be by yourself. Simply because you don't want to go through the process of healing. Simply because you want to keep the optics of you have someone. But what if that person you just invited into your life is in their lower point or their lowest point in their life? Because when you attract someone in your loneliness, you attract a person in their emptiness. So when you go through this process of purging and detoxing from that previous relationship, it is my suggestion to not get under or with another person until your process from the previous person is shedded. It's just like when you're going through a physical detox, right? If you're doing you're into the not weight loss, because detox is so much more than just weight loss, but when you are going on a health journey and you do these full body detox, is certain things you can't eat, like processed foods and alcohol and things of that nature. And it's because you are trying to get rid of things that no longer serves your body for its highest good. Well, think of that as going through the process of getting over a heartbreak. Because real healing starts with allowing yourself to feel everything. I know it's hard. I know it's going to be some dark, lonely nights. But you have to allow yourself to feel everything, the sadness, the anger, the confusion, everything. Because what happens a lot of times, we do these breakups, and then maybe a week or two later, they'll DM us or text us, or we'll see their posts if we're still following them. And we go down a rabbit hole and we start thinking about the good, right? We start thinking about the good times we had in our relationships, and we have short-term memory loss when it comes to the sadness and the bad times and the toxicity that we endured through that relationship. So allow yourself to go through that healing process of feeling everything. And honestly, when you're going through this process, there might be some other unhealed emotions that may come up that will allow you to understand why you keep attracting the same type of person. So ask yourself, what am I really feeling? When you're going through this process, this journey, it can be however long or short you want it to be. That's totally up to you and how willing you are to surrender to this process. But you need to ask yourself, what am I really feeling? What is this pain trying to teach me? Where is this pain in my body? But you have to sit and listen and feel. This is not a time to be on your phone, to have your phone on in the background. A good time to do this is early morning when the house is still asleep, or late at night when you're not going to be disturbed. But ask yourself, what am I feeling? And what is this pain trying to teach me? And where do I feel this pain in my body? Because your body is very intelligent and it will let you know. It might be in your stomach, it might be in your heart, it might be in your neck, it might be in your lower back. But pay attention to that, because that's your body telling you this is a pain that correlates to a unresolved trauma, okay? Because that's what we need to work on. That's what we need to grow from. That's what we need to heal. Because I often tell my clients, what you don't feel, you cannot heal from. So you can go and get up under another person and try to mask your feelings, your emotions. But the only way to get on the other side of trauma and triggers, heartbreak, is to go through it. That is the only way. You have to sit with your emotions. You can journal them out. You can cry them out. You can scream them out. You can do all the above because this is not a weakness. Excuse me. This is not a weakness. This is the foundation of reclaiming your power. You never lost it. You may have gave it away. You may have forgotten about it, but this is your time to reclaim your power. And only your power can heal. Only your power can heal you. And with teachers and coaches like myself and therapists and spiritual gurus, it's so many resources out here to help you along your way to facilitate that process. But you have to do the work, but you have to believe that you are worthy and worth the work. Heartbreak can make you forget who you are. You have to remember who you are. You might find yourself questioning your value or blaming yourself. Well, people always leave me. I never have a successful relationship. No one will ever love me. Lies. Lies. Stop it. The same words you're telling negative reinforcements to yourself, you need to double down and start saying words of empowerment. I mean, just try it. If you're comfortable believing that you're not worthy, what's the harm of believing that you are? What's the worst that can happen? So, this is the time to reconnect with the core of who you are. But you have to have self awareness of who you are. And if you don't have that yet or you forgot it, that's not a problem. People like myself can help you remember your own power, your own self. What did you like to do before this relationship? Who were you? This is the time to reconnect with the core of who you are beyond any relationship. So, how to start that process? You can start by writing a list of your strengths. What are something you are really good at? I don't care if it's speaking, writing, or just listening. Have anybody ever told you, like, you know what, friend, you are a great listener? Like, has anybody ever told you that? That is an art because so many people listen to respond, and not many people actual practice good communication of hearing and listening. So write a list of your strengths and your passions because your strengths are more aligned with your life's purpose, and that's for you to give to the world. But your passions is something that is deep within you and something you cannot live without, and that is for you. So remember what that is. The dreams you put on hold. What did you put on hold for this relationship? Revisit old hobbies or passions you left behind. What did you not do for yourself to make someone else happy? And this is not a judgment type of energy that I am giving you. This is, I want you to remember who you were. Because who you were is closely aligned to who you are meant to be. But sometimes we lose ourselves in relationships because, for one, we don't want to be rejected, especially if how we authentically show up is not what our partner wants or expect. So we kind of mold ourselves into what our partner wants. And in doing that, we deny our own self, our own authentic self. If you can't be authentic with yourself, you're damn sure not going to be authentic with your partner. So you're not just someone's partner or someone's ex, okay? You are a whole powerful being, a whole, like a whole powerful being. So, a practice I recommend to all my clients is every morning look in the mirror and say, I am enough. You can write it on sticky notes, you can write it on the mirror. But before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I am enough. I am worthy. I am powerful beyond measure. Say this every single day until you start to feel it in your bones, until you remember, like, you know what? I am worthy. And when you get those negative thoughts, because the negative thoughts are not going to go away. Let's just start there. And let's stop looking at them as negative thoughts. I like to say, I like to tell my clients that this is your inner child who is scared and who doesn't feel protected is coming out to let you know, hey, you're going to fail. Stop it. Don't go any further because that inner child is scared. He or she or they don't know what is going to happen around the corner. So it's their job to protect you. It can also be looked as an ego thing, right? And egos are here to protect us as well, but it's a time and place for our inner child and our ego. So when you get those negative thoughts to come up, just saying I am enough is not going to necessarily combat that. And just thinking them away is not going to let them go away either. What you can do is question those unfulfilling thoughts. If you get a thought that I'm not good enough, question it. Okay, self, what makes you say that? And if I'm not good enough, what is the worst that can happen? And then once your inner child or ego respond to you, then you just reaffirm, thank you for sharing that, and reaffirm that. Thank you for sharing that, but that's not my truth anymore. I am enough. I am worthy. And you know why I'm enough, and you know why I'm worthy. And then you read your list of strengths. You read your list of passions. You read your list of hobbies. That's what we do. Because it's time to rewrite the story you're telling yourself. You're telling yourself these disempowering words. No. Maybe right now your narrative sounds like, I never find love again, or I wasted all those years. No, no. Every relationship in your life, you're going to either bless it, forgive it, or apologize. Every relationship goes into one or all of those categories. So nothing was just a mistake. You didn't waste any years, months, or whatever you want to call it. Let's flip that narrative. What if the truth is I gained valuable lessons, or I am now free to attract a love that matches my growth? Because sometimes in relationships, we grow and we grow like this. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Sometimes people in our lives have to exit because energetically we're not aligned anymore. We've either evolved or grown, but we're just not that person anymore, and that is okay. But you have to be true to yourself. So, write out the new story you want to live. Visualize it. What does it look like? Who are you becoming? How does she or he or they walk into a room? Pick out a theme song. That's what I do. Pick out a theme song that you can have an internal dialogue in your head. So when you walk into a room, it's just like, it's air beneath your feet, baby. What kind of love do you attract now that you know your worth? Right? Rewrite your story. Stop letting society, the world, your family, your exes write your story. How they gonna write your story? It's your story. You're the main character in your story. So rewrite a new one. And this goes with beyond just heartbreak. If your life is not where you want it to be, rewrite your story. This is you know how you say we're driving, we're building the car as we drive it, where you're living your life as you rewrite it, right? So if you don't like a chapter, rewrite another chapter. If your life is not where you want it to be, if the love that you desire is not coming into your life, rewrite a new story. Because 9 times out of 10, you are living someone else's story. Whether that came from our childhood or just a string of bad partners. Rewrite a new story that you want to live, visualize it, and get that theme song of what you want to have in your head when you walk into a room. So once you do that, I want you to rebuild your life with intention, because heartbreak gives you a chance to rebuild. And it's not just your love life, but your whole life. Okay, so ask yourself, what kind of relationship do I want to call in now? So you've done the work on yourself. You are continuously, consistently moving through intention with working on yourself. So now, once you're in a space where you are healed, you've worked through the trauma, the triggers, right? You got your theme song when you walk into a room. Now it's time to invite the love that you truly deserve and desire. So ask yourself, what kind of relationship do I want to call in now? Maybe you don't even want a romantic relationship right now. Maybe you are very cool with just being with self. Ask yourself, how can I create a life that feels fulfilling on my own? Like I said, you may start it out on this healing process of healing to get back into a relationship or wanting a partner. And by the end of this process, you might say, you know what? I'm really good by myself right now. And when that time comes, it'll come. But you are in that space where you can answer that question. Another question you can ask yourself is, what new experiences do I want to try? You don't have to wait to be with somebody to travel or to try new things. You can do that right now. So when you do invite or when you do manifest the person that you truly meant to be, then you can introduce them to your hobbies, to your passions, to your strengths, opposed to you just always folding and molding to your partner and leaving and losing your identity. This is the time to explore new places, meet new people, or start that side project you've been dreaming about. Because when you fill your life with purpose and joy, you're going to stop looking for someone to complete you. And instead, you're going to attract someone who complements your wholeness. Because when you attract in your fullness, you attract a partner in their wholeness. So they will appreciate your passions. You don't have to mold or change yourself for somebody else. They will recognize your strengths. They will honor and support your hobbies. So I want you to know that I know heartbreak hurts. I know heartbreak can hurt so deep that it shakes you to your core, where you just don't think or feel like going on with life. But that is a bruised ego that is talking to you. That is not you, because you are not broken. You are actually breaking open. You're breaking open to new possibilities, to who you are meant to be. Every heartbreak is an invitation to come home to yourself, to build deeper self love, stronger boundaries, and a clearer vision of the love you deserve. Maybe this heartbreak was a way to get you back on track to who you're meant to be. because you have gotten so involved with another person and lost yourself that sometimes universe, God, higher power have to get you back on track and lose it all just to gain it all. So I appreciate you all stopping by. And I told you that this heartbreak conversation is not going to be like the average heartbreak conversation. No, I am an empowerment coach. I help you realize your own power because sometimes we don't lose it, we just forget it. So if you want guided support in this journey, check out my website, and I have some free tools on there for you to download. You can also book a free discovery call with me, and you can work one-on-one with me as well. And you can also grab my journal Dump That Shit, which is a 31-day journal that will help you to remember who you are meant to be. And all of these tools and resources are designed to help you reconnect to your power and to your worth. And if you want to join an empowerment community, come hang out in my private love lounge. And there we uplift each other and we celebrate every step of the healing journey. Because remember, we are all on this journey together, and it's not just one person that's going through things in their life. Life happens to everyone. So, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And remember, you are worthy of deep, soul nourishing love. But the most important love story is always the one you have with yourself, not the one that someone else created for you. So until next time, keep shining, keep loving yourself, and keep reclaiming your power. I'm Dr. Freda, and I'll see you next week.